The city of Clearwater is hosting a hurricane preparedness expo today. The goal is to make sure that you're ready for anything if a storm heads our direction. News Channel 8's Alessandra Young is live in Coachman Park this morning with a preview. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey there, Melissa. This is the second time the city of Clearwater has held this event, and they're expecting hundreds and hundreds of people to come out today. And to help explain what's going on and what people can expect, I'm here with Division Chief Graham. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So we have a lot of vehicles here behind us. Can you tell me, what are they here for and what can people expect?
Well, we're going to have a lot of public education here. This is going to be a good event to kind of help people prepare for the season, kind of see what resources the city has, see what resources the community has to get people ready for the season and get prepared for the hurricanes.
How important is it that people take advantage of events like this, especially because we are in hurricane season now?
Oh, it's extremely important. Last season was one of the most impactful that we've ever had. And so this season, we want people to get educated. Know what stuff you have, know what resources you have, know if you're in a flood area, know if you're in an evacuation zone. All this stuff is going to be prepared here. Know how to recover from it, know what kind of insurance stuff, FEMA stuff, any rules like that are all going to be handled here today.
And do you think last year's impact will bring out more people, or maybe kind of change if they leave or evacuate or listen to the warnings?
Most definitely. Last year, a lot of people were negatively infected. And so this time we're hoping that they listen to it, come here, get the information so that they're prepared and make better decisions.
And for anyone that maybe can't come out today, this morning, do you have any helpful tips for them?
Basically, have a plan. If you can't come out and get resources, if you can't come out here and see what actually you need to do, have a plan on what you're going to do. Do your research. Am I going to stay or am I going to go? Am I going to go to a shelter or am I going to stay where I'm going to be? Make sure you have resources. But the biggest thing is have a plan for the season and not when a storm is right actually at your door.
Thank you so much, Chief. Appreciate you. And this starts at 9 o'clock this morning, is going to go through noon. And like you just heard, come on out and learn some very essential information, make a plan, and evacuate, listen to the warnings. For now, live in Clearwater, Alessandra Young, 8 on your side. Dozens of people marched through the streets of St. Petersburg to mark the 3-year anniversary of Roe v. Wade being overturned. Now, they held signs and had speeches and tried to make their message loud and clear. But I spoke to both sides of this controversial issue and heard what they have to say.
The reason why we march.
A few years after Roe v. Wade was overturned, people are still fighting for their beliefs on both sides of the abortion debate.
I know a lot of us were surprised, honestly, that we ever would live to see this day. It had been the law of the land for 50 years. But now we're in a place where we need to continue to be on the offense, where we need to be promoting pro-life legislation.
All you're making is not having access to this healthcare service. So now people are either going to die without the access to this healthcare service, or they're going to be in very dire situations where they're going to be more harm's way.
On Saturday morning, people with Florida Preborn Rescue organized a march, taking steps for the pro-life movement here in Tampa Bay.
The person was a person from the moment of conception. And so the goal of the pro-life movement is not to take anyone's rights away or not to be anti-woman, but to recognize the dignity of every human life.
But supporters for pro-choice says it feels as if their rights have been stripped away.
I just think about how there aren't laws that are created to not let men do something with their bodies, right? Like there aren't any that like that. And yet, like for us, like we have to crawl our way to getting equal treatment, that like we just want to be able to have access to our own bodies.
Those marching now want to see Florida completely ban abortion.
Life is precious, that it's a gift. We have kids who've marching with us who have been rescued out of foster care, who've been rescued out of terrible situations. We have people who have been survivors of rape. We have people who have been in all kinds of different situations, and here to say that while some would call those exceptions when it comes to the abortion issue, those are human beings.
While those who are in favor of having access to abortions say it is a form of health care, and they're fighting for people to have more access, not less options.
Even in death, like we have to, the state can't decide what happens to our bodies. Like we have to give permissions to like a corpse and things like that, right? But yet, like for those of us that have bodies that are currently living, currently have the ability to make decisions, we currently now have that stripped away from us, where we say, this is what I want to do with my body. The state goes, no, you can't do that.
Both sides say that their fight isn't done yet. For more information, head on over to our website at WFLA.com. In St. Petersburg, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.
Domingo Rodriguez was back in court today as his attorneys asked the judge to grant bond while his sentence is being appealed. He was convicted earlier this year for decapitating a dog. The case garnered statewide support, leading to Dexter's Law, which begins July 1st. News Channel 8's Nicole Rogers joins us now live at the Pinellas County Jail where Rodriguez remains tonight. And Nicole, what happened in court today?
Ty, here's the breakdown. Rodriguez was already sentenced to 1 year and 2 months in jail. But now, as his team prepares his appeal, he's asking to be granted bond in the meantime.
All right, here we go.
This is Governor Ron DeSantis in South Florida, moments after signing Dexter's Law. It was named after a dog was found decapitated in Fort DeSoto Park last year, just days after being adopted. The man convicted of the crime, Domingo Rodriguez, was sentenced to 1 year and 60 days in jail earlier this year.
Justice for Dexter is now Dexter's Law.
Robin Mortimer has been fighting for justice for Dexter since she heard about his untimely death. Mortimer says she got to know the dog on an intimate level working at the Pinellas County Animal Shelter.
He didn't want to play. He didn't want anything but just a little cuddle time, a little bit of love.
No bond, no bond, no bond.
Friday, Mortimer and several others protested outside of the Pinellas County Courthouse. Inside, Rodriguez's attorney argued he should be given bond because he was convicted of misdemeanor charges and doesn't have a prior criminal record.
We have misdemeanor offenses. I understand the gravity and the attention that this case has garnered, but at the end of the day, these are not felony offenses.
Mortimer disagrees.
He's in jail. He was convicted by a jury. He was found guilty, and now he wants out.
Dexter's Law will let judges hand down a longer sentence to people who have been convicted of severe animal cruelty. It will also create a public statewide database for everyone who has been convicted of animal cruelty. That way, if anyone wants to adopt a dog or a cat, for example, they would already be in that database if they were previously convicted of animal cruelty. As for Rodriguez, he is due back in court on July 9th to find out whether or not he gets bail. For now, live in Pinellas County, Nicole Rogers, 8 on your side.
For Founders Day, those of us at News Channel 8 spent the day volunteering at different organizations like right here at Feeding Tampa Bay. Now, this day is a chance for all of us to come together as a family and give back to the area that we live in and we love. News Channel 8 isn't just a station where you get your news, sports, and weather. It's a building filled with people who like to give back to the community we cover, whether it's the people you wake up with.
It's a great feeling because we cover what happens in this community, but this is our home too. So to be part of something that has such a positive impact on where we live is really great.
Or people you watch as you're getting ready for bed.
Founders Day is really important because it's our opportunity as a news organization to give back to the community. I mean, in the big picture, it's not much, but every little bit counts, and we're proud to be here and be a part of it.
It's nice to work with everyone to try to make this community a better place to live. We're here, we're part of the community, and I think this is our job. Our job is to serve the people of Tampa Bay, and this is one of the ways that we do it.
The entire News Channel 8 team helped make meals to feed over 3,000 people at Metropolitan Ministries.
We are just so grateful that they come, that y'all come and volunteer, and it just makes us so much more happier.
And spent hours organizing different food donations at Feeding Tampa Bay.
Probably the most precious resource that all of us have is our time. And when folks are willing to give you the gift of their time, we're awfully grateful for that moment.
Feeding Tampa Bay is also just a fun organization because you're not just helping one person, which isn't a bad thing, but also we're helping an entire group of people, an entire organization. This reach goes so far and it means a lot.
I think it's the most community-minded thing we could do, especially as a channel that we say we're 8 on your side every day. So being out here and actually getting hands-on, I love it. I think it's great.
Now, NextStar isn't done giving back just yet. On top of all of the volunteering, NextStar announced that they will be donating $5,000 to a local charity to highlight the station with the most volunteers. In Tampa, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.
2, 3, 4, 5, okay. Well, Benkin is getting results after a tow truck driver ended up stuck in a Pasco County man's backyard.
That truck was stuck in part of the man's newly installed septic tank system. And nearly 3 months later, he says he still is left to fix the damages by himself. Well, that's when he knew he had better call Benkin. And 8 on your side consumer investigator Shannon Benkin is here with more on the story.
Stacey, Keith, less than 24 hours after I first told you about this unusual situation, the tow truck company made this right.
When Jerry Wolf called me for help earlier this month, he was still stunned that a tow truck ended up in his backyard with one tire partially buried in his new septic system that he had just installed weeks ago.
He just said that he was on a call and he was trying to find a stuck Amazon truck, and that he had a coordinate for it, and that it was 60 paces past my shed here. And I said, well, why didn't you get out and look? This is a backyard. This is private property, and you know, you're buried in my leach field, and you just crushed my septic tank. And he said he was just trying to do his job and trying to find the Amazon truck.
The truck was from Pinellas Towing and Transport, which sent another truck to tow it out. Jerry paid $3,750 for repairs and said nearly 3 months later, he still couldn't reach anyone with the tow truck company for reimbursement. So he called me to do what I do. I reached out to the company, and the next day, Jerry had a check for the full amount in his hands.
They literally sent out a driver that afternoon, and they delivered a check.
So they hand delivered it to you?
They did. They absolutely did.
So how does it feel to finally have this off of your shoulders?
It's great. It's great. It was nice just to have such a quick response, and they were very gracious and very quick, and talked to the owner real quick. They said they were sorry that they forgot about me, and they were yeah, more than willing to reconcile the situation.
Yeah, I know it shouldn't have taken calling me, but are you glad you called?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Jerry tells me that the man who delivered the check apologized for the inconvenience and was very polite. He says he understands that mistakes happen, and now he's just glad that this whole thing is behind him now.
Well, all's well that ends well, as they say, but I'm still curious about the Amazon truck, because wasn't the whole point to go find this stuck Amazon? Where was that
Poor Amazon truck driver was waiting a long time that night. The Amazon truck was found a quarter-mile down the road, stuck at another homeowner's yard. And Jerry tells me that this is a reminder, don't just blindly follow GPS, especially if it leads you to private property.
Yeah, going down in the back.
Gotta use your eyes.
And a little common sense, too,
Right.
don't you think? All right, thank you, Shannon. If you have a problem that needs solving, you better call Benkin, the number 1-855-BENKIN, or you can always reach her on Facebook at WFLA Shannon.
Good afternoon, I'm Stacey Scheibel.
And I'm Ty Russell. Thank you for joining us. For 10 years, a Hillsborough County woman says she has watched her loved one's gravesite start to shift.
After some short-term fixes that tend not to stick, she reached out to 8 on Your Side for help. News Channel 8's Stacey DeSilva with the story from Plant City.
The rock and the dirt is just disappearing.
Dara Gent has already lost both her parents and her beloved brother Earl. She fears losing their grave sites too.
There's obviously an issue, and if I can't get something done one day, I'm scared I'm gonna come out here and they're all gonna be sunk in.
The Gents are buried at the Mount Enan Memorial Cemetery off Frontage Road in Plant City.
It's when I noticed how deep this is.
Dara Gent says since her brother's death in 2015, she has watched as cracks in the dirt deepen and holes form around the burial site. The monument company has come out and repaired it, but the faults keep happening.
They have done pretty decent, but they're coming out here and just filling in the gaps. Well, we need to know what the underlying problem is.
8 on Your Side called around on Gent's behalf Friday. We have learned the 150-year-old cemetery is overseen by a volunteer board. The board president says now that he is aware of these concerns, he will look into the problem.
I don't know how we can have this fixed, if we're going to have to, you know, if they're going to have to put something underneath it, I don't know, but I want something done before I come out here in my grave so that they're not here anymore, because I will lose my mind.
Stacey DeSilva, 8 on Your Side.
Today, our parent company, NextStar, is celebrating its 29th Founders Day of Caring, and community events are being held all across the country at all of our stations. Here in Tampa, News Channel 8 employees spent the day volunteering at 2 different nonprofit organizations. Our Alessandra Young was there as we gave back to the community and had some fun, too.
From stocking shelves to pushing pallets, those of us at News Channel 8 wanted to celebrate Founders Day by giving back to the community that we live in. News Channel 8 is not only dedicated to telling your stories, providing life-saving information, the weather forecasts, and highlights of your favorite sports team. We also spend time helping in our community.
It's so refreshing to work for a company that prioritizes your community and gives us time to volunteer here at Feeding Tampa Bay.
We've done so many stories on the need for, shelter, food in the Bay Area. So the need is obviously there. So if we can come out for a few hours and give back as a team, it's a lot of fun.
Organizations like Feeding Tampa Bay rely on volunteers and say it helps when they get large groups to lend a hand.
We are so excited to be hosting Founders Day again. Channel 8 comes in every year with a ton of folks. I think the entire organization comes in and volunteers, and I think it speaks to Channel 8's commitment to our community.
Many of us spent the day at Feeding Tampa Bay organizing food donations, while others were at Metropolitan Ministries cooking and playing with kids.
Feed me, that's right. Their faces and being able to paint with them and hang out with them and name their animals and things like that. It's good to step away from what we do on a day-to-day and just be able to pour into our community, but more importantly, pour into our future, because that's what they are.
The entire team came together to volunteer and make a difference. Now, NextStar isn't done giving back just yet. On top of all of the volunteering, NextStar announced that they will be donating $5,000 to a local charity to highlight the station with the most volunteers. In Tampa, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.